I want to speak this over your life today. God will take care of you. No matter what you're walking through, no matter what you're facing, you are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not out there trying to figure it all out by yourself. The creator of the universe, the one who flung stars into space, the one who spoke worlds into existence, He knows your name, He sees your need, and He has already lined up everything you need for your journey. I want you to hear this deep down in your spirit. Today, God will take care of you. Not just in the good times, not just when everything is going your way, but in the middle of the storm, in the face of uncertainty, when you don't know how things are going to work out. That's when His care becomes most evident. Sometimes we look around and we don't see anything changing, nothing improving, and we start to think, maybe I've been forgotten, maybe God's too busy, maybe my situation is too small. But the truth is, God sees every detail of your life. He's not distant, He's not disconnected. He's intimately involved in your story, orchestrating the pieces, arranging the timing, putting the right people in place, and removing what would hold you back. You might be walking through a tough season right now. Maybe something unexpected hit you out of nowhere, a diagnosis, a financial burden, a family issue that took the wind out of you. And you're trying to stay strong, trying to hold everything together. You smile on the outside, but inside you're wondering how much more you can take. Can I tell you, God sees the weight you're carrying, and He's already gone ahead of you. He's not waiting to step in after everything falls apart. He's already working behind the scenes. He's already arranging the healing, already setting the solution in motion, already assigning the right people to show up at just the right time. Nothing takes Him by surprise. If it showed up in your life, it didn't get there without passing through His hands. That means it's not going to defeat you. It's not going to break you. It's going to be part of the testimony that shapes your future. What you have to remember is that God didn't ask you to carry it all on your own. He didn't design you to live stressed out, worn out, and stretched thin. That's not your job. Your job is not to fix everything. Your job is not to have all the answers. Your job is to trust, to believe, to lean on the one who holds your future in His hands. The same God who took care of you last time is going to take care of you this time. The same God who brought you through that disappointment, that season of lack, that heartbreak, He hasn't changed. He's still the same yesterday, today, and forever. And if He was faithful before, you can rest assured He'll be faithful again. There's a peace that comes when you realize you're not alone in the fight. You're not left to fend for yourself. You don't have to wake up every morning worried about how you're going to make it. You don't have to lie awake at night replaying every scenario in your mind. You can lay your head on the pillow and say, God, You've got this. I'm putting it in Your hands. I may not see how, but I know You will make a way. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's strength. That's how you rise above the chaos and keep your joy even when things aren't perfect. That's how you keep your hope alive even when the report wasn't what you wanted to hear. Sometimes we think if we just try a little harder, push a little more, maybe we can figure it all out. But some things aren't meant to be figured out. They're meant to be handed over. Some burdens aren't yours to carry, they belong to God. He said, cast your cares on Me because I care for you, not tolerate you, not put up with you, not give you a lecture about why you're in this mess. No, He said, I care for you. That means He feels what you feel. He knows the sleepless nights. He hears the cries you didn't tell anyone about. He understands the weight of what you're carrying. And He's not distant. He's present. He's right there in the valley with you, walking beside you, speaking peace to your heart, even when the storm is still raging. You may not be able to see it yet, but provision is already on the way. Favor is already moving in your direction. Breakthrough is already scheduled. And when it shows up, it's going to make sense why things had to happen the way they did. It's going to make sense why some doors closed, why certain people walked away, why you had to go through that season of waiting. Because when God takes care of you, He doesn't just give you what you want, He gives you what's best. He gives you what will sustain you, protect you, grow you, and elevate you. You're not being punished, you're being positioned for something greater than you imagined. Now that doesn't mean the journey will always be easy. There will be moments of discomfort, times where it feels like nothing is moving. You're praying, you're believing, but everything looks the same. That's when it's the hardest to trust. But that's also when your faith is doing its best work. That's when the roots are growing deep. That's when your spiritual muscles are getting stronger. God doesn't grow us on the mountaintops, He grows us in the valleys. And when you can trust Him in the silence, when you can praise Him in the middle, when you can believe before you see, that's when you position yourself to receive. Sometimes we think faith is all about bold declarations, and yes, that's part of it, but real faith is also quiet confidence. It's the whisper that says, God, I still trust you. When everything inside of you wants to panic, it's choosing not to give up even when the answers haven't come yet. It's showing up with a heart full of expectation, knowing that at any moment things can shift. God can breathe on your situation and turn it around overnight. That's how quickly He can work. Think about the Israelites in the wilderness. They had no access to food, no way to plant or harvest. Yet every morning, without fail, there was fresh manna on the ground. God didn't give them a month's supply. He didn't let them store it up. He gave them just what they needed for that day. Why? Because He wanted them to learn to trust, to stop relying on their own strength and start relying on His. He was teaching them that when you walk with Him, you'll never lack. You may not have excess, but you'll never go without. And when the time is right, He doesn't just give you enough, He gives you overflow. Maybe right now you're in your own wilderness. You don't see how the bills are going to get paid. You don't know how the relationship is going to be restored. You're trying to stay hopeful, but it feels like you're running on empty. Can I tell you, your manna is coming, your provision is coming, your answer is coming. You don't have to manipulate it, force it, or figure it out. All you have to do is stay in the place of trust. Keep waking up with expectation. Keep speaking faith over your situation. Keep doing what you can, and God will do what you can't. The beautiful thing is, God's care is not based on our performance. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to be perfect to qualify for His provision. He loves you simply because you are His. You're His child, and He takes care of His children. Even when we mess up, even when we fall short, He doesn't withhold His goodness. He doesn't wait for us to get it all together. He shows up with mercy, with grace, with another chance. And when you live with that kind of awareness, you walk through life with confidence. Not because of who you are, but because of who He is. God is not limited by your surroundings. He's not limited by your past, your education, or your bank account. He is unlimited. That means He can bless you in unexpected places, promote you when others said you were unqualified, restore what you thought was lost forever. His ways are higher than ours. And when we surrender our plans and align ourselves with His, we begin to see what real provision looks like. Sometimes we get so focused on what we don't have, we miss what God is doing right now. We're so consumed with what's not working, we don't recognize the small signs of His faithfulness. That phone call at just the right time, that friend who sent a message when you needed encouragement, that unexpected favor that made things a little easier. These aren't coincidences. These are reminders that God is still at work. He's still providing. He's still caring for you, even in the little things. Don't let the enemy convince you that you're forgotten. Don't let discouragement settle in and steal your peace. Don't let fear tell you that it's too late. You are right where you need to be. You're in the palm of His hand. You're surrounded by grace. And you're moving towards something greater than you've seen. God didn't bring you this far to leave you now. If He started something in your life, He's going to finish it. If He made a promise, He's going to keep it. If He opened a door, no one can shut it. There's something powerful that happens when you stop trying to figure everything out and simply trust. When you say, God, I don't see the way, but I believe You're making a way. I don't feel strong, but I know You're carrying me through this. That's when your faith becomes unshakable. That's when heaven starts moving on your behalf. You don't have to know all the details. You don't have to see the full picture. All you need to know is this: if God said He'll take care of you, then He will. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for surrender. He's not waiting for you to get it all right. He's just waiting for you to trust Him with it all. And trusting Him doesn't mean you stop doing your part. It doesn't mean you sit back and wait for everything to magically fall into place. No, you keep showing up. You keep doing what you can. You stay faithful. You walk in integrity. But while you're doing what you can do, you let God do what only He can do. You let Him be your provider, your healer, your restorer, your defender. You let Him fight the battles you can't see and bring the breakthroughs you didn't expect. Some of the greatest blessings in life come when you let go of control. When you stop trying to micromanage every outcome and you release it to God. You say, God, I'm done stressing over it. I'm done worrying about how this is going to work out. I trust that You're in control. That kind of release is not weakness. It's strength. It takes faith to hand over what's most precious to you. It takes faith to believe that even when you don't see movement, there's a miracle in motion. Just because you don't see anything happening in the natural doesn't mean God isn't working in the spiritual. Some of His greatest work happens in silence. When it looks like nothing is changing, everything is being rearranged. There's a peace that rises up when you truly put it in God's hands. When you say, Lord, I'm going to keep honoring You. I'm going to keep doing what's right. I'm going to keep speaking life. I'm going to keep sowing even when I don't see the harvest yet. Because that's what faith does. It keeps moving forward. It keeps believing when there's no evidence. It keeps praising when the answer hasn't come. And that kind of faith is what unlocks the supernatural. That's what opens doors no one can shut. That's what brings favor you didn't earn, opportunities you didn't see coming, blessings that chase you down and overtake you. And here's the beautiful part. God's not asking you to figure it all out. He's not expecting you to know how the healing will come, or how the promotion will happen, or how the relationship will be restored. He's just asking you to believe that He's good, to believe that He's faithful, to believe that He's still in control even when life feels out of control. Faith isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's that still small voice inside that says, I don't know how, but I know who. That's what carries you through the tough seasons. That's what lifts you when you feel weak. That's what anchors you when the winds of life try to blow you off course. You may be walking through something right now that you didn't expect. A setback that shook you. A challenge that feels too heavy. A season that's lasting longer than you thought it would. And maybe you've done everything you know to do. You've prayed, you've stood in faith, you've believed for the best, and yet nothing seems to be moving. Let me encourage you. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because it's taking longer than you expected doesn't mean it's not coming. God hasn't forgotten you. He's not ignoring your prayers. He's preparing the perfect answer. Delay is not denial. The waiting is not wasted. It's doing something in you. It's strengthening you. It's maturing you. It's preparing you for what's next. Sometimes God withholds what we want because He's working on what we need. And when the time is right, when everything is in place, when your character has caught up with your calling, He will release what He has for you, and it will be better than you imagine. It will be greater than you plan. It will make sense why the other doors had to close, why certain people had to walk away, why the process took longer than expected. God's not interested in just giving you temporary comfort. He wants to give you lasting peace. He's not just trying to fix a moment. He's shaping a miracle. And when you let go of control and trust His timing, you position yourself for the kind of blessing that's not only enough for you, but overflows to others. That's how God takes care of His children. He doesn't give just enough to get by. He gives more than enough. He's a God of abundance. A God who says, I'll supply all your needs according to my riches, not according to your job, not according to the economy, not according to your qualifications, but according to His riches. And His riches are unlimited. I think about the story of Elijah when he was in the middle of a famine. No food, no water, no way to survive. But God didn't leave him stranded. God told him to go to a brook, and there He commanded ravens to bring him food. Now, that doesn't make sense in the natural. Birds don't bring food to people, they take food. But when God says He'll take care of you, it doesn't have to make sense. He can use unexpected sources. He can bless you through people you never imagined. He can bring provision in ways that defy logic. That's the kind of God He is. Elijah didn't have to chase the ravens. He didn't have to hunt for food. He just had to be in the place God told him to be. He had to stay obedient. He had to trust that if God led him there, then provision would meet him there. And sure enough, every morning and every evening, those birds showed up right on time with exactly what he needed. That's what happens when you rest in God's care. You stop striving, you stop stressing, you stop running in circles trying to make things happen. You simply align your heart with His will, and you let the blessing find you. You might be in a season where you're not seeing the provision yet. You're doing your part, you're staying faithful, but it feels like the ravens haven't shown up. Can I tell you, they're on the way. The breakthrough is coming, the healing is coming, the favor is coming. You don't have to force it, you don't have to chase it, you just have to stay in the place of trust. Keep your heart soft, keep your words full of faith, keep your mind on the promise, not the problem. Because when God's ready to move, nothing can stop Him. He'll move mountains. He'll part waters. He'll bring what you need right to your doorstep. And here's something else to remember. Sometimes God uses the famine to reveal the favor. Sometimes He allows the drought to show you who the true source is. If Elijah had never faced lack, he would have never seen that kind of miracle. If the brook had never dried up, he would have never seen how God could sustain him in a new place. So if you're in a dry season, don't be discouraged. It's just a setup for something greater. God may be about to lead you to a new brook, a new opportunity, a new relationship, a new open door. There's a reason the Scripture says we walk by faith, not by sight, because sight will lie to you. Sight will say it's impossible. Sight will say there's no way out. Sight will say you're stuck. But faith says, I don't see it yet, but I know it's coming. I don't feel it yet, but I know God is working. I don't understand it yet, but I know it's all going to make sense. That's the kind of faith that opens doors. That's the kind of faith that causes heaven to respond. When you keep believing, even in the dark, even when nothing around you makes sense, that's when the supernatural shows up. You weren't created to carry anxiety. You weren't built to live in fear. You were designed to walk in peace, to live in faith, to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are cared for by a loving Father. He's not waiting for you to figure it all out. He's waiting for you to trust that He already has. He's not watching from a distance. He's walking with you through every valley, every trial, every test. And He's not going to let you fall. He's not going to let you miss out on what belongs to you. If it's in His will and you stay in His presence, it will find you. Sometimes we think because we believe, because we're trying to live right, trying to do the right thing, that we won't face trouble, that life will be smooth, that things will always go according to plan. But faith doesn't mean you'll never have difficulties. Faith means when the storm shows up, you're not shaken because you know who's in your boat. You know that even if the waves are crashing and the wind is howling, you're not going under, you're going over. God never promised that life would be free of trouble, but He did promise that in the trouble He would be with you. He did promise that no weapon formed against you would prosper. He did promise that when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of God will raise up a standard against it. That's the kind of care you have. You're not doing life alone. You have a defender. You have a deliverer. You have a Savior who knows how to get you through. And that's what makes the difference. Not that you don't face what others face, but that you face it with a peace they don't understand. A calm that makes no sense. A strength that's not your own. That's what sets you apart, not the absence of the storm, but the presence of God in your storm. There are going to be moments when everything around you says panic, stress out, fall apart. But deep down, you'll have a knowing, an unshakable assurance that God is still on the throne, that He's still working, that He's still in control. And when you carry that peace, you're dangerous to the enemy because he can throw his best shot and it won't break you, it won't stop you, it won't make you quit. You've got to learn to rest even while the battle is raging. Rest doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're confident. It means you're not moved by what you see. You're moved by what you know. And you know God's got you. You know He's ordering your steps. You know He's surrounding you with favor. When you really get that in your spirit, you don't live uptight. You don't let circumstances dictate your joy. You can smile even when there's pressure. You can stay grateful even when things are hard. You can keep moving forward even when you feel like giving up. That's the strength that comes from trusting that God is taking care of you. You weren't designed to carry every burden. You weren't created to live weighed down with worry, fear, or anxiety. That's why the Scripture tells us to cast our cares on God, because He cares for us. It doesn't say ignore the cares. It doesn't say pretend they're not there. It says cast them. That means release them. Give them away. Let them go. Every time you carry what you were never meant to carry, it drains your joy, your peace, your strength. But when you say, God, this is too heavy for me, I'm giving it to you, that's when you find rest. That's when you discover the freedom that comes from living in faith. So many people are living burdened not because God isn't good, not because they don't love Him, but because they haven't learned how to release. They're carrying things they were never supposed to carry. They're trying to fix everything, control everyone, figure it all out. But control is an illusion. The more you try to control, the more you realize how little control you actually have. But when you live surrendered, when you say, God, I'm going to do what I can and I'm going to trust you with what I can't, that's when peace shows up. That's when you're no longer striving, you're soaring. That's when you're not surviving, you're thriving. It's not weak to trust, it's wise. It's not passive to surrender, it's powerful. Because real faith doesn't always look like shouting and dancing. Sometimes it looks like resting when everyone else is panicking. Sometimes it looks like being still when the world says run. Sometimes it looks like peace in the face of chaos. That's what faith does. It anchors you. It holds you steady. And it reminds you that you're not holding your life together by your own strength. You're being held by a God who never fails. And when you live that way, when you walk in that level of trust, you start to see how God takes care of even the small things. You start to notice how He shows up in the details, how He orchestrates the timing, how He places the right people in your path. It's not always about the big miracle. Sometimes it's in the little reminders. The encouragement at just the right moment, the opportunity that shows up when you least expect it. The favor that comes when it doesn't make sense. That's God whispering, I've got you. I'm taking care of you. You might not see the whole picture, but you don't have to. God sees what you can't see. He knows what's ahead. He's already in your tomorrow. He's already prepared the provision. He's already lined up the healing. He's already opened the doors. And the beautiful thing is, nothing can stop what He's planned for you. No delay, no detour, no mistake. You may have taken some wrong turns, but that doesn't cancel your destination. You may have been set back, but that doesn't mean you're set aside. When God takes care of you, He knows how to get you back on track. He knows how to redeem the time. He knows how to turn what the enemy meant for harm into something good. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're not too late. You're right where you need to be for God to do something extraordinary. And it doesn't matter how long it's been. It doesn't matter how deep the hurt or how big the problem. God is bigger, He's stronger, He's more faithful than you've ever imagined. And He's not going to leave you stuck. He's not going to let you miss your purpose. He's going to take care of every detail, every need, every burden. But you have to trust His process. You have to keep your heart open, your mind renewed, your mouth full of faith. There are going to be moments where you feel like giving up. Times where it seems like the promise is too far away. That's when you dig in deeper. That's when you remind yourself of what God has already done. If He came through before, He'll do it again. If He healed you once, He can heal you again. If He brought you out of that storm, He'll bring you out of this one. You're not living on your own strength. You're walking in supernatural grace. That grace is what sustains you. That grace is what empowers you. That grace is what carries you when you don't think you can go any further. Don't let the pressure convince you that God's not working. Don't let the silence make you think He's distant. Some of the most powerful moves of God are happening behind the scenes, in places you can't see, in ways you don't understand. That's why you have to walk by faith. That's why you have to hold on to what He said, even when what you see doesn't match. Because if you can hold on through the night, the morning is coming. If you can praise through the pain, the breakthrough is coming. If you can believe even when it feels impossible, the miracle is coming. And here's the thing, when it shows up, it won't just be enough, it will be more than enough. God is not a God of barely making it. He's not trying to just get you through. He's trying to bless you in such a way that everyone around you sees His goodness. He wants your life to be a testimony of what happens when you trust Him. He wants people to look at you and say, there's something different about them. They have peace in the storm. They have joy when there's no reason. They have favor that doesn't make sense. That's what happens when God takes care of you. Your life becomes a light. Your story becomes a message. Your blessing becomes someone else's hope. And He's not just taking care of your today. He's taking care of your tomorrow. He's taking care of your future. He's already gone ahead of you. He's already arranged the right connections, the open doors, the divine appointments. Your job is not to make it all happen. Your job is to stay faithful, stay hopeful, stay in peace. And as you do, you're going to see what it looks like to truly be taken care of by the Most High. You're going to look back one day and say, I didn't know how it would work out, but God did. I didn't see a way, but He made a way. I didn't feel strong, but He gave me strength. I didn't know how I'd get through, but He carried me every step. There are moments in life when you're doing everything you know how to do. You're praying, believing, standing in faith, and yet the answer hasn't come. The healing hasn't manifested. The breakthrough hasn't arrived. The situation hasn't changed. It's easy in those times to get discouraged, to start questioning, did I miss it? Is something wrong with me? Why isn't it working? But I want to encourage you today, just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because the door hasn't opened doesn't mean it's not going to open. Delay is not denial. God knows exactly where you are. He sees your faith. He sees your perseverance. And He's not ignoring your prayers. He's preparing the best answer. You have to understand that sometimes God's greatest care doesn't look like an immediate rescue. Sometimes His care is in the waiting. Sometimes it's in the delay that He's building something in you that can't be developed any other way. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about how you wait. It's about waiting with expectation, with trust, with a confident knowing that your time is coming. Waiting with joy, with peace, with a good attitude. That's what shows God that you trust Him. That's what keeps your heart open to His timing. Because sometimes what we think is a setback is really a setup. What we think is a no is really a not yet. And what feels like silence is actually God saying, I'm doing something bigger than what you're asking for. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want everything now, fast results, immediate answers, quick solutions, but God doesn't operate on our schedule. He's not bound by the clock. He's not in a rush. He's more interested in who you're becoming than how fast you're getting there. And if you'll learn to trust the timing, you'll see that what He has planned is far better than what you had in mind. That delay is developing character. It's strengthening your faith. It's preparing you for something greater. You might not see it right now, but on the other side, you'll look back and say, thank you, God, for not giving me what I wanted when I wanted it. Thank you for loving me enough to make me wait. There's something powerful that happens when you keep honoring God in the delay, when you keep being your best, even when it feels like nothing is changing. That kind of faith doesn't go unnoticed. That kind of trust attracts the favor of heaven. People may overlook you, opportunities may pass you by, but when it's your time, no person can stop it. No delay can block it. No circumstance can keep it from you, because when God opens a door, no one can shut it. When it's your season, you won't have to force it, manipulate it, or strive for it. It will happen naturally. Doors will swing open. People will go out of their way to bless you. Things will come together that you couldn't make happen on your own. That's the care of God in action. He's not just interested in the destination. He's in the journey. He's walking with you through the valley. He's standing with you in the fire. He's whispering peace in the waiting room. And when you stay connected to Him in those seasons, when you learn to trust even when it doesn't make sense, you come out stronger, you come out wiser, you come out more grounded in your faith. Because God is not just working on what's around you, He's working on what's within you. And that inner work is just as important as the outer blessing. That strength of character, that depth of trust, that unshakable peace, that's what will sustain you when the blessing comes. That's what prepares you to handle more, to influence more, to carry more. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is not in the asking, but in the waiting. Not in the miracle, but in the patience. Not in the breakthrough, but in the trust that says, God, even if I don't see it yet, I still believe you're good. I still believe you're working. I still believe you're taking care of me. That's a powerful kind of faith. That's the faith that moves mountains. That's the faith that unlocks the miraculous. And when you live with that mindset, you won't be easily shaken. You won't let circumstances dictate your peace. You won't fall apart every time something doesn't go your way. You'll be anchored, steady, rooted in the confidence that God is for you, and nothing can stand against you. And even when the timing seems off, even when you feel like it should have happened by now, don't lose your confidence. Don't stop expecting. Don't let the enemy convince you that it's too late. It's never too late for God. He created time. He's not bound by it. He can do more in a moment than you could do in a lifetime. And He knows how to restore the years that were lost. He knows how to accelerate what's been delayed. One touch of His favor can make up for all the time you think you've missed. One opportunity, one open door, one divine connection can launch you into your destiny. But you've got to stay in a place of faith. Keep showing up. Keep praying. Keep believing. Don't let what you see talk you out of what you know. God's Word is still true. His promises are still valid. His care for you hasn't changed. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean He's not doing it. You may feel stuck, but God is still moving. You may feel hidden, but you're not forgotten. He sees you. He knows what you've walked through, and He's going to honor your faithfulness. He's going to reward your diligence. He's going to surprise you with His goodness. But you have to trust that He knows what He's doing. Sometimes it's not the size of the miracle that matters most, it's the size of your trust. Can you trust Him when there's no sign of progress? Can you trust Him when others are moving ahead and you feel like you're standing still? Can you trust Him when the doors are closed and the answers aren't clear? That's when your faith is tested. That's when the roots grow deeper. That's when your confidence becomes unshakable. And when you come through on the other side, you're not just blessed, you're anchored. You're not just promoted, you're prepared. And that preparation is what sets you apart. That's what makes you dangerous to the enemy. Because now you know deep in your soul that God will take care of you. You stop living worried. You stop striving. You stop comparing. You stop trying to figure it all out. And you start resting. You start walking with peace. You start living with purpose. Because you know that even if it hasn't happened yet, it's still on the way. Even if you don't see it, it's still coming. Even if others don't believe it, you're still expecting. That's what it means to trust the process. That's what it means to believe in the waiting. That's what it means to know God is taking care of you. Not just when everything goes right, but when nothing seems to be going right. And when you understand that, when you really let it settle in your heart, it changes how you live. You stop being frustrated by the delay. You start being grateful for the development. You stop being discouraged by what hasn't happened. You start being excited for what's about to happen because you know something good is coming. You know the best is yet to come. You know that what God started, He's going to finish. And if He brought you this far, He didn't bring you this far to leave you. He brought you this far to take you further. He brought you this far to take you into your destiny. So don't get tired in the waiting. Don't let go of your hope. Don't stop believing just because it's taking longer than you thought. Your time is coming. Your breakthrough is coming. Your healing is coming. Your promotion is coming. Your restoration is coming. And when it shows up, it's going to be better than you imagined. It's going to be more than you asked for. It's going to make up for the time, the tears, the struggle. Because God is not just faithful, He's extravagant. He doesn't just meet needs, He exceeds them. He doesn't just answer prayers, He blows your mind. So keep trusting, keep standing, keep rejoicing, even in the silence, even in the waiting, even in the middle of the process. Because the same God who's been with you every step is still with you now. And He's not going to leave you. He's not going to fail you. He's not going to let you down. He's going to come through. He's going to show up. He's going to finish what He started. And when He does, it's going to be clear to everyone that His hand has been on your life all along. So keep the faith. Keep the fire burning. Keep believing, because God will take care of you.